All right, guys, I got a couple of stories in the description box below. The first one I'm not going to go through. It's really long. If you have time to read it, I read a big chunk of it. And it's about a New York Times reporter who talks about how he always sees people filming the police. And he's walking out of a restaurant. And he sees a New York police officer with a guy handcuffed, not resisting. And he's pushing him against the wall. And he says his heart begins to race a little, like, wow, what's the hell's going on? And he says for the first time he pulls out his recording device to begin recording it. He looks over, there's another guy in a beanie that's recording the police, and the NYPD comes over to get them to stop, saying you're interfering with our arrest. When he says I'm a New York Times reporter, he's left alone for the moment. And the other guy, who's not a reporter apparently, just one of us cop watchers, says, I have the right to record the police. And he's arrested and beat down, pushed on the sidewalk, arrested for disturbing the peace and interfering. And then they come back and try to get the New York Times reporter to stop recording them. You're interfering. Cops do not want you to record their interactions in most cases. I say most cases because Hemet police really don't care that I film. They're okay with it. I mean, there's a couple officers that, give me heartache, give me grief. He's filming you, but for the most part, they don't care. There's a lot of them out there that do care. If you're interested in kind of a Copwatcher story, read that first one, the Copwatcher New York PD story. The second one is what I'm going to go through my editorial. I call it the bank story, Ohio bank story. This one is a see something, say something story. And I'm telling you guys, it's not good. You don't always have to say something when you see something. Sometimes it's just somebody doing something innocent and legal, like this guy. A bank has apologized after a clerk called police on a black man trying to cash his paycheck. Paul McCown's visited Huntington Bank at the Giant Eagle Supermarket on Biddulph Avenue in Brooklyn, Ohio on December 1st. The electric company worker wanted to cash his first paycheck from a new job, which totaled around $10.82. Staff asked him to provide 2 forms of ID. He also gave his fingerprint, as is policy for people not account holders of Huntington Bank. I get that. He told CBS Cleveland 19. Despite following all the protocols, workers at the bank questioned McCown and repeatedly called his boss to ask if it was a fraudulent check. Who the hell are you? When the employer didn't pick up the phone, he couldn't cash his check, so McCown left. But a bank employee had already called the police. As McCown left the bank, he was stopped by police, handcuffed, and detained in the back of the police car. A few minutes later, police got hold of his employer and confirmed the check was real and he was released. The next day, he cashed the check at another branch, and McCown claims he was racially profiled. Well, he was racially profiled. So the bank workers effed up. See something, say something. Oh my God, a black man cashing a check. I want to know if this is real. Even though it says he followed all the protocols, gave 2 forms of ID, gave his fingerprint, and they still called the friggin' cops. Now the police come there. What do? Do they question the guy? I don't know how much they questioned him. It didn't really say in the story, but it says that he was handcuffed, detained, and put in the back of the police car. Because he's guilty. The bank said so. They said black man's cashing a fraudulent check. That's got to be true. So the police, because obviously they handcuffed him until they got a hold of his employer and went, oh, okay, I guess it's nice. He's real. He works there. Cops don't check stuff out. I just want to tell you that. I don't get any cops that watch this. I dare you to comment in the comment section below and challenge me on that. I don't think they question anything. The person called and said so. The dispatcher put it in. Must be so. I'll give you a living example of me. Rancho Cucamonga, San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, Rancho Police. I'm doing a First Amendment audit of a government building on the sidewalk, which is my right to do so. I corrected the guard. He didn't have a nameplate on. And I corrected him. And when the deputy came out, he says, he didn't say, were you up here doing this or were you over here doing this at all? What happened? He says, weren't you up there banging on the door trying to get in and they told you to leave and you wouldn't? I said, no, I've been on the sidewalk the whole time. He goes, oh, because they said that. Must be true. They said it and dispatch put it in. And then when I go talk to the sergeant and I say, well, he should ask better fact-finding questions. Well, he did ask fact. No, he didn't. He accused me. He said, weren't you up here because they said you were? That's an accusation, folks. I'm not stupid. I have an IQ above 40. But the sergeant started justifying it instead of saying maybe we should ask better questions. Maybe we should, train a little bit on how to say it more better. He didn't say that. He justified. Well, what we're doing is right because this dispatch's fault. Dispatch puts the calls in screwed up sometimes. Well, and you go with it? And that's what happened in this case. Also, black man trying to cash a fraudulent check. Gotta be true. And it wasn't true. The man's just trying to cash his paycheck, folks. But he's handcuffed and detained when he's just trying to live his life. And you think we're free. I want to know what you guys think. Comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. News Now, Ukaipa, keeping you informed of what's going on across your nation. And remember, always film the police. And if you have a press pass or press credentials, sometimes you just got to pull them out. It's not ID, but just say, look, I'm a freelance photographer. I am affiliated with the International Freelance Photographers Organization. I have a press pass, credentials, lifetime member. So if they screw with me, it's going to be a civil rights violation. And that's why you should always film the police and carry your press credentials, guys. So what? If you're not a parolee or a probationary and you have no felonies, yeah, here's my press pass. My name is John Doe. You got a problem with that?